what we're talking about here is your profile. There's going to be 2 lines in your profile, 2 numbers. And there's an unconscious side and there's a conscious and an unconscious part of your being. In my experience, I feel both very consciously. My unconscious side is like very much, I'm very aware of it being a part of my being. But I guess what I could touch on really briefly is just kind of like a summary of what each line is. So there's only 6 lines and you're going to have, 2 of them in your profile. So the first line is the investigator. It is somebody who needs to know. So you thrive when you are armed with the way that things work, then you're going to feel safe. You're going to feel safe to move through the world in a really powerful way. So those are the people who, if someone asks you the name of something and you're like, oh, we don't quite know, let's move on. It's like, Amy and I joke that first lines we're like, how many of the FBI do you think are first lines? Like you're investigators. That's what you are. So that's investigators. They need to know. 2 is the hermit. So this is somebody who, a lot of your knowing comes from just being an inner knowing. There's a lot of inner wisdom that comes from the hermit, but it's also this tendency to kind of shy away and kind of need to retreat. Second lines come into this life with a gift, a natural gift or talent, but oftentimes it takes the people in your tribe or your community to pull it out of you. So there is something really natural in there, but there's this tendency to kind of shy away. So then that gift will be pulled out of you over time. The third line is the, I don't even know.
It's the master.
Yeah. I don't even use those names anymore. We kind of like made up our own and now I forget them all. But basically the third line is you need to experience to learn. So, that is the only way throughout your whole life, how you will experience, how you will learn things. And so because that is the case, the experience of the third line can feel like a rough ride sometimes because you're going to try things and some things are going to work and you're going to try things and you're going to learn some really tough lessons and it's not going to be pleasant, but it's always pivoting. So this is where if you are a third line or if you know a third line, give them a little extra love, give them a little extra support because the journey can feel really challenging for them sometimes. It's like, is this ever going to stop? Well, no, it's not, because that's how you learn, but that's also how your soul came into this life, was to learn. So it's about reframing things not working out. It's not a failure. It's a lesson. It's an opportunity to pivot. It's an opportunity to fine tune what works and what didn't, so that you're not going to do that thing again. So yeah, just that's a really big one for the third line, but ultimately is, the school of life is your greatest teacher. Fourth line is it's called the opportunist. But really the fourth line is it's a natural networker, and not necessarily networker in a way of like, oh, I'm going to schmooze at the party. It's a lot of fourth lines are like, I don't resonate with that at all. It's not that. It's you have a natural ability to create meaningful connections everywhere you go. Whether that's 2 people that you spoke with at a party, they're going to get your business card or they're going to follow you online. And what happens is through your life, you build this web of people, and a lot of your opportunities come to you through that web. So, maybe you meet your partner through your network, or maybe, you bump into an old friend and then you mention that you're looking for a house. And then, she then goes for dinner with her friend who's a realtor. And it's like, oh, wait a second. No, I have someone. So the fourth line, a lot of opportunities will come to you. So I think for anyone who has a fourth line, they start to get stressed maybe as an entrepreneur of like, it's like more business coming in, or even if they're not an entrepreneur, even if it's just like, when is the next thing coming, or is the next thing coming? You are like, your name will be on people's minds as like a human Rolodex always. So just release some of that pressure, because opportunities will constantly come to you through your network that you've created, just through you being you.
I would love some 4s in my business. Woohoo.
Yeah. The fifth line is the heretic. That is a really responsible, dependable energy. And they have a really wide reach. Fifth lines can talk to like the guy at the grocery store, your friend's grandma, anybody. So they have this wide reach, but they also, with their auras, people can feel this really dependable, responsible energy. So there's a lot of projection onto a fifth line of like, this is who I need you to be, or this is who I want you to be. There's never a shortage of people calling them, being like, hey, can I help you with this? Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, because they have, it's like, they can handle it. They can handle it. But what people don't see, what people see on the surface of the fifth line is like this really strong, powerful person. Underneath, what they don't see is like, I can't keep up, I'm drowning. So there's a big, strong boundary karma that goes with the fifth line of like, you can't say yes to every call. So this is where you come back to use your strategy and your authority, and really that, honoring your energy type to see what you can give and what you can't give. But ultimately, five lines are really their teachers, their guides, their leaders. And then the sixth line is the role model. So for the sixth line is a really interesting one. There's kind of three chapters to the sixth line. So the first 30 years of a sixth line's life, they operate as a third line. So the school of life is my greatest teacher. That's how I learn. Then from 30 to 50, they kind of sit into this kind of, if you think of like, kids on the front lawn getting their knees dirty and like, they're in the mud, they're getting scraped up. That's the first 30 years of your life. Then you kind of move to the front porch and you're just kind of cleaning off, and like, you're still in the mix and you're still seeing everyone, living life, but you're not going to be as pulled to like do all the things and try all the things as much. There's going to be more of letting the wisdom sink in. And then from 50 onwards, the sixth line really is like shouting it from the rooftop. So the sixth line's experience is evolution of trying, like, meaning experiencing, and then turning it into wisdom, and then coming back to their tribe or their people, depending on what the profile is, to really bring that wisdom back.
Sounds like the manifestor with self-trust.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Oh, you're amazing. I would love to know, like, as you, you really rock this in your business, like using human design for entrepreneurs to really know themselves. Where is a good way that our community can look for extra resources? Do you like have a blog or?
Yeah, we have a podcast.
You have programs.
Amazing. Yeah. So our podcast is an amazing free tool. I would highly recommend. It's called the Align by Design podcast. Usually 1 to 2 episodes a week are going out. I do all of these. So I'm the fourth line. So I'm doing all the interviews. I'm like,
oh yes, networker. Yeah. Love it.
And then Amy is the fifth. She's a 5-1. So she's more of like the teacher. So she does the educational episodes where she's giving you guys like free juicy content and some downloads and some meditations, or I'm just like, let's talk. So that's one place you can find us. And then, we have tons of programs. I offer like readings, we do programs. There's so much more. Like we really strive to be able to meet you wherever you're at in your human design journey, whether that means you have no extra income, but you're desiring to learn more. We offer you the podcast. If you just want to dive in for yourself and you want a reading, I do readings. If you want group coaching, or if you want to get certified in human design, we have an entire 12-month program. So there's lots of ways to work with us. And you can just find us on, you can find us online, and you can find all the ways to exchange.
Absolutely. And guys, remember, take little video snippets from today's interview, tag Liz, tag Align by Design on Instagram, and, spread their magic as a thank you. And we're really, really grateful having you on the Freedom Era community. I think this is like being one of the most desired interviews. Like everybody is like, oh my God, get your team on there, ask questions. Like, we absolutely love, learning and growing in this way with our unique expression.
Well, I can tell you guys, I can't see any faces, but I can feel the energy is so palpable from all of you guys. Like I can feel the gratitude right now, and I can feel all the positive energy. So thank you guys so much for having me. Like I said, any opportunity to talk about human design, I'm like, I'll go. So I appreciate you. Of all the people, I know there are a lot of people that are in human design, a lot of people that talk about it. So it really is an honor to, that you chose me of all the people. So thank you.